Can you bring it right down? Now.
I ain't got a drone up.
You've got a drone up.
I haven't.
You have. You walked past me with a drone.
I haven't got a drone up.
Where is the drone?
Pardon?
Where's the drone?
Right. Just listen to me. Just go over a sec.
Go ahead.
Right. You've obviously got the drone up.
I haven't.
Well, you have.
No, I haven't.
Just listen to me.
No, you listen to me.
Right.
I haven't got a drone up.
Just listen to me.
Go ahead.
So what's that then?
That's some drone footage.
Right. Okay. So where's your drone?
Huh?
Where's your drone?
What's it got to do with you, buddy?
Right. Just so you know, you are committing an offence.
I'm not committing an offence at all. Am I flying at this minute?
Listen to me.
Am I flying?
Listen to me.
Go ahead.
Right.
Just to let you know, we'll contact the Civil Aviation Authority to put a temporary ban on flyovers.
Mate, he said I'm flying. No, I'm not.
So,
Am I flying?
so where's your drone?
What's it got to do with you guys? I'm not flying a drone.
As the interaction unfolds, the first responding officer immediately levels an accusation, claiming the auditor is breaking the law by flying a drone. The auditor, however, doesn't react with hostility. Instead, he replies calmly, pointing out that the drone is not even in the air, it has already been landed. Despite this straightforward explanation, the officer gestures toward the controller screen, misreading the display and assuming it shows a live flight. The auditor carefully clarifies that the footage is pre-recorded and simply being played back, not transmitted in real time. Rather than reassessing the facts, the officer doubles down on the allegation without offering any concrete evidence that the drone is still airborne. The exchange becomes more tense when a second officer arrives, announcing they will reach out to the Civil Aviation Authority to request a temporary flight restriction. But here's where the issue deepens. If such a restriction needs to be imposed now, it confirms that none was in effect during the earlier flight. That single detail undermines the entire accusation. Since rules cannot be applied retroactively to actions that were lawful at the time they occurred, the unfolding scenario raises serious concerns. It gives the impression that new restrictions are being introduced after the fact, as if to retroactively justify a charge that does not match the circumstances. What should have been a straightforward check of the facts is instead shifting into a questionable attempt to reframe the situation, blurring the line between enforcing existing law and creating rules on the spot.
Just crack on with your job.
Right. Under Article 256 of the air navigation, you are committing an offence.
Offence? Am I flying a drone at this minute?
Near the building.
Look,
Okay.
the joypad's not moving. Look at that, guys. He's just said I'm committing an offence.
They can fly themselves. It's not stupid. I own a drone myself.
You want a drone? And so am I committing an offence now?
Yes, you are.
So are you arresting me then? Are you arresting me?
I'm going to take your details and someone just...
I'm not giving you my details.
Right, well, I have to arrest you. You're giving
Go on then. Go on then.
Right, okay.
I'm not flying a drone.
The lead officer tried to justify the arrest by citing Article 256 of the Air Navigation Order, a regulation meant to cover drone flights conducted recklessly or in ways that endanger the public, yet this rule is only triggered when there is clear evidence of risk to people, property, or safety. And in this situation, nothing about the auditor's actions even approached that threshold since the drone was flown carefully, in controlled conditions, well away from crowds, emergency sites, or any area where harm could occur. And to add further context, the equipment used was a DJI Mini, a lightweight sub-250-gram drone that sits in the least restrictive legal category, designed specifically to minimize safety concerns. But instead of acknowledging that the flight was lawful and the drone had already landed, the officers chose to escalate rather than simply investigate. And rather than asking basic questions or confirming whether the drone was even airborne, one constable abruptly grabbed the controller straight from the auditor's hands, a move that could itself have caused a crash or malfunction had the aircraft been flying at that moment, making the irony impossible to ignore since the only genuine safety risk throughout the entire episode did not stem from the pilot's careful conduct but from the officer's own actions, which introduced the very danger they were supposed to prevent.
I'm not flying a drone. My drone's in my bag, you pair of muppets.
You want to give us the drone?
Mate, you've just am I being detained? Detained for what?
Committing an offence under the Aviation Act, okay? I have told you that. I have asked you...
Am I being detained?
I've asked you...
Am I being detained? I'm arrested?
Yes, you are.
Right.
Okay, all you need to do is show us
My drone's in my bag.
I asked you, you said...
My drone is in my bag. Check my bag.
I know that. But he's made that decision. He's a grown man, and if he wants...
Mate, no, my drone's in my bag. I've told him it's in my bag. He's detaining me, arresting me for a
You
drone.
need to get your details as well, your name and address as well.
What? I was flying it before you actually told me it was an offence. Why is it an offence when I've got a... Are you arresting me? Serious?
Yes, I've just arrested you.
Will you check that bag just to make sure my drone's in there?
Once we've established your details...
This is... Hey, do you know what? This is an unlawful...
Listen to me, alright?
Yeah.
Stop shouting. Once we've ascertained your details and confirmed who you are, we can look at de-arresting you in relation to...
De-arresting me? I've not committed an offence from the start. I've got a licence and everything.
Under UK law, an arrest must rest on reasonable grounds, which means officers are required to present credible and objective evidence that an actual offence has taken place, not just lean on a suspicion, a gut feeling, or the idea of making an arrest first and finding out more later. In this case, the auditor followed the law to the letter. He calmly explained that no offence had been committed and even confirmed that he held the proper licence to operate his drone, which should have been enough to prompt a basic check before any further action. Yet those details were brushed aside. The officers made no attempt to determine what type of drone was being flown, whether a licence was necessary for that lightweight model, or whether the flight fell within legal limits. Instead of carrying out these fundamental checks, they moved straight to escalation, resorting to arrest without substantiating even the simplest facts. What played out was not careful, evidence-based policing but rather a display of assumption and guesswork carried out in uniform, and in doing so, the officers undermined the very principle the law demands, that before a person's freedom is taken away, proof and procedure must come first.
You don't arrest people first, mate. That you're doing the wrong thing. The law...
You come with me.
Pardon? It wasn't playing, mate.
Come with me.
Jog on, you muppet. Who's got the controller and the phone?
What did you do?
I need that control and the phone because he's got the evidence, mate.
Right, okay.
I proved to you I weren't flying a drone.
You haven't proved it, you was being awkward.
Mate, you said that I was flying a drone.
Controller is. I can't talk, you're shouting on.
I have got handcuffs on and they're hurting, mate.
Have you got his controller?
Right.
I do.
We'll take the...
So look at that, that's still going as we speak.
Right.
That was from footage before when there was no blocker in the area.
Just search his bag.
Yeah, of course, mate. What was your name, fella?
I'm not telling you my name. I'm not telling you my name. I'm not obliged to because I'm not committed an offence.
I was only asking your name.
This exchange reveals a subtle but recognizable tactic often used by officers to apply quiet pressure under the guise of casual conversation. Here, the female officer asks the auditor for his name in an offhand way, but the auditor, fully aware of his rights, firmly declines and explains that since he has committed no offence, he is under no obligation to provide it. Almost instantly, the officer pulls back with a quick remark of, "I was only asking," which on the surface might seem harmless, yet in context it carries weight far beyond a simple question. Such comments can be strategically employed to paint a citizen as uncooperative for doing nothing more than asserting their legal protections, while allowing the officer to later frame the interaction as light or innocent. In reality, when a uniformed officer requests personal information during a tense situation, it seldom feels like casual small talk. It carries implied authority, an unspoken suggestion that refusal may carry consequences, and it subtly shapes how bystanders, or even fellow officers, perceive the individual being questioned.
He's detained me and I'm in handcuffs now.
I've already told you, under the Aviation Act, you are committing offence. You're driving you're flying a drone near buildings.
Near buildings?
Without a licence, you can't do that.
I've got a licence. I've got a licence. Am I permitted to give you a licence? Because this area is exempt from the CAA.
Where is it?
Eh?
Where's the drone?
It's in the bag. Look through the rest of the bag. Not inside the bag, not that bit.
Sorry, guys, can I just ask you to take a couple of steps back for me? Thank you.
No, it's sorry.
Oh, so now Constable is seeing that my drone's in the bag, as it is. It wasn't flying when he pulled me and put me in handcuffs. So now, this is a wrongful arrest. Am I still being detained, Constable? Please let me know soon, because the longer this goes on, the more you will be a civil court matter. Okay. And I will prosecute you.
That's fine.
Personally. You've detained...
You make complaints to Lancashire Constabulary, mate, by all means do so.
Are you being cocky, Louis?
No, I'm telling you where to make your complaint.
Peace, what's your collar number?
Sergeant 5409.
Sergeant 540. Are you happy with your constable doing what he's done to me?
You'd like to make a complaint?
Are you happy with what your constable's done to me?
Ashley?
Can he let me out of these cuffs now?
When the officer searched the auditor's bag and found the drone tucked safely inside, it immediately confirmed what the auditor had been saying from the very beginning, that the drone was not airborne at all. This moment marked a critical turning point, because it directly undermined the very foundation of the arrest. The allegation hinged on the claim that the drone was being unlawfully flown at that time, yet the physical evidence now proved beyond dispute that this was never the case. In a fair, evidence-driven process, this discovery should have prompted a pause, a reassessment, or even a swift de-escalation of the situation. Instead, the officer pressed on as if nothing had changed, refusing to acknowledge that the core justification had evaporated. The facts were now clear and undeniable. The drone was grounded, no threat existed to people, property, or emergency operations, and no aviation rules had been breached. What remained was not a case built on proof, but one propped up by assumption, and with that assumption now fully exposed as false, persisting with the arrest only highlighted how deeply flawed the original decision had been.
Listen, you are committing the offence, okay?
How can I commit offence when I wasn't flying?
Do you want to
At the
listen or shout at
time,
him?
you wouldn't tell me whether you was flying or not.
I wasn't committing offence.
Right, listen to me. At the time, I suspected you was committing the offence.
No, you said I was committing an offence.
Because you wouldn't tell me you had the drone in the bag.
No, I told you I didn't have it.
No, you didn't.
Mate, you've done an unlawful arrest on me today. What's your calling number?
You can have a call at 8512. Okay, listen to me. You're now de-arrested because you're not flying the drone. Should you?
I tried to tell you I wasn't flying a drone.
Should you that drone take off, you will be arrested.
No one, no one. If I want to fly that,
CCTV are monitoring.
I want to fly that, this is a legal way I can fly this drone. I've got a license.
The auditor sets out his position plainly and with accuracy, making it clear that if he decides to launch the drone again, he is legally entitled to do so because he holds the correct license and understands the governing regulations. On this point, his stance is completely sound. UK drone laws are explicit. As long as the operator complies with Civil Aviation Authority requirements, respecting airspace restrictions, staying within the proper drone category, and adhering to established safety rules, there is no lawful basis for an officer to block the flight simply out of personal discomfort. Yet instead of acknowledging this, the officer replies in a manner that feels rooted more in asserting authority than in applying law. The warning given is not tied to a regulation or to any verified breach, but comes across as an attempt to preserve control after the core justification for the arrest had already collapsed. Even when confronted with evidence that no offense occurred, the officer does not step back. Instead, he issues vague, open-ended threats that lack legal grounding. This shift, from enforcing clear rules to relying on personal assertion of power, shows just how far the encounter had drifted from the standards of objective and evidence-based policing.